Hello and welcome back to Mark's House and Garden UK. Do you recognise these? Let me give you a clue. I'm going to be daft for a minute. Woo! Oxeye. These are Oxeye daisies. That was my impression of an ox. I'm going to share with you in this video 10 fascinating facts about this plant, and I guarantee that some of them you will not know. So let's get started. Let's start off with that name, shall we? Where does this plant get its name from, the Oxeye Daisy? Well, in this case, it's actually quite literal. Historically, this large, round, flat flower reminded people of the bulbous shape of oxes' eyes. Well, all I can say is they must have had some pretty remarkable looking oxes back in the day, because I can't see it, but nevertheless, that's where they got their name from, the Oxeye Daisy. Now, despite the fact that it looks like a single flower, it's actually not just a single flower. The Oxeye Daisy is actually what's known as a composite flower. The petals, the white things around the edge, are individual white flowers known as ray florets, and the yellow centre is made up of dozens of tightly packed individual yellow flowers, and those are known as disc florets. Now just look at this spectacle. Hundreds of these beautiful little flowers reaching up towards the sunlight. However, they don't close at night, and so at night they appear to glow in the dark because of the way that these white petals reflect the moonlight, and that gives them another name. These are also known as moonflowers or moon pennies. Isn't that cute? He loves me not. He loves me not. Do you remember that? Well, this flower, the Oxeye Daisy, is the original flower that little game came from. This flower is supposed to be able to predict whether someone you've got your eye on actually likes you or not. Now, here is something which I definitely did not know about the Oxeye Daisy. Did you know that Daisy is a nickname for people called Margaret? I had no idea about that until I did my research into the Oxeye Daisy. And there's a connection. The reason for it is the French call the daisy the marguerite. Marguerite became Margaret, and therefore Daisy is often a nickname for people called Margaret. Fascinating. The Oxeye Daisy is a pollinator magnet. Because of the wide accessible shape of the flower head, it makes it really accessible to a wide variety of different insects. And this is a keystone plant in any wildflower meadow. Brilliant for pollinators. It's actually edible. All parts of the flower head are edible, and the young leaves are edible and can be added to a salad. Apparently they have a peppery taste and they're a bit like spinach. And at the end of this video, when I've given you all the interesting facts about the Oxeye Daisy, I'm going to eat one, tell you what it tastes like. I can now share with you an interesting fact which is direct from my own personal experience of the Oxeye Daisy. Despite the fact that it only has one flower head, and we do know that that's many little flowers in there, each plant can produce tens of thousands of seeds, and those seeds can survive in the ground for decades, and when they are unearthed and exposed to light, they can germinate even 10 or 20 years later, and that makes it quite an invasive plant. And indeed, this mound here, which is covered in Oxeye daisies, is from last year. I had a packet of mixed wildflower seeds on that mound, and you can see all of these have been germinated and propagated from last year's flowers when they've dropped their seeds. So it's quite an invasive plant, which leads me to the next point. In medieval Scotland, these were known by farmers as ghouls because they were so invasive and because they reduced the quality of the pasture land. And because of that, farmers that were found to have too many of these in their land and therefore in their crop could be charged an extra tax. Now, not only are the young leaves of this plant edible, they also have a couple of traditional medicinal applications. The crushed leaves could be rubbed into wounds or bruises, and it was thought to have a healing effect. And when crushed, this has an acrid smelling sap, which is supposed to repel fleas. There we are, some interesting facts about the Oxeye Daisy or the moonflower or the moonpenny. Now remember what I said, this can be an invasive plant, and in some states in North America it's actually banned. That's how invasive it is, which is why I'm quite happy that mine are contained on this mound and you can get rid of them by constant mowing. So if I keep mowing around them, they won't go any further than that mound. Having said that, I'm delighted that they're here because they look wonderful. They look absolutely spectacular. Now, I did say I was going to eat one of the flowers, and I am going to do that. But before I do that, I have to say to you, do not try this at home. I don't want you to go out foraging and pick up the wrong plant and poison yourself. Do not eat anything that you find in the wild unless you are 100% sure you know what it is. Right, here we go. Right, so the moment of truth has arrived. Let's start off with a couple of these young leaves first, and I shall try them and tell you what they taste of. It's quite a pleasant taste. It does taste salady. It does taste spinachy. It's got a sweet, fruity taste to it. Quite pleasant, actually. I'm very pleased. Apparently they are full of vitamins. Right, let's eat one of these flowers. Now there's an insect on there. I don't want the insect, thank you very much. You can disappear. Here goes. It's got a unique taste to it, that's what I would say. It's not unpleasant. In fact, it's actually quite pleasant. I would add that to a salad, and I think it would make a statement in the middle of a salad if you were serving it to a guest. It's got a clean taste to it. Altogether very pleasant and fresh. I would definitely eat another one. Hope you've enjoyed my interesting facts about the Oxeye Daisy. And if eating these doesn't poison me, I'll see you soon for some more wildflower gardening adventures. Bye for now.